It's the end of the day with Ray. Hello, my friends. Well, folks, today we're going to jump on that gigantic sharp interactive board. We're going to go through Konica Minolta's first 9 months of their FY24, which will end in March of 2025. Jeez, I got to tell you, Konica Minolta, quarter after quarter, year after year, of nothing but disastrous financials. Is the leadership at Konica Minolta just out of touch with reality? Or are they all just hanging around waiting for Konica Minolta to get liquidated? Are all the industry's friends of mine paying attention to these BLI awards that Konica Minolta posts and thinking that everything's okay because they're getting another award? At the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, I don't think there's anybody in their right mind that would believe that in the year 2030, Konica Minolta will be a $50 billion business. I think what most people believe, in the year 2026, Konica Minolta will get liquidated. So without any further ado, let's jump on the board. I want to share some thoughts with you. The first thing I want to do is suggest to Konica Minolta to go to their website and make sure the stuff on the website, well, portrays what they actually do in the marketplace. They're talking about Konica Minolta Healthcare America, so I'm not sure they're in that business anymore. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure they got out of it. Put in the comments if I'm wrong, Konica Minolta. I know that Konica Minolta, the time that they dedicate to the website is strictly to post the awards they just paid for. But we probably ought to really look hard and make sure the website reflects what you're actually doing in the marketplace. Let's talk about their numbers and their presentation. The stuff in red I put there, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you something. The way that Konica Minolta is sharing their numbers and their presentation just cracks me up. Because they changed it. Because their performance is so terrible. They had to figure out a way to we got to share this in the marketplace so that people don't realize how bad of a performing company we are. This is absurd. I brought it up at their second quarter. But they're showing up here, they got a business contribution profit of $190.1 million. Who gives a crap? Because over here is what we care about. Operating profit is an 18.5 billion yen loss, which translates to 122.2 million. So what they're trying to do is say, look over here. We had a business contribution profit of 190.1 million. Don't look over here where our operating profit loss was 122.2 million. Totally insane, right? Holy smokes. They have this summary of their performance. They say on the summary, revenue increased. I put in red next to that, thanks to the Forex. Foreign exchange can help grow that revenue, right? Holy smoke. Business contribution profit, SG&A containment and loss reduction of direction change in businesses. I call that a word salad nonsense. Bunch of word salad nonsense on here. Because at the end of the day, the profit that was attributed to the owners was a negative 88.7 million. And that's a number that counts too, right? All this word salad crap. I mean, this is unbelievable, ladies and gentlemen, that they actually get away with this in the marketplace. Let's look at their revenue numbers for the divisions within the company. The digital workplace first 9 months is $3 billion. Professional print first 9 months, $1.4 billion. Industry, $590.2 million. Imaging solutions, $503.9 million. Company overall for 9 months was $5.5 billion. I don't really care to go into all the operating profit, and I don't care that the print place made some operating profit. It doesn't really matter, because when you get to the bottom, they lost $122.5 million, company overall. And folks, you can see that corporate, etc., that account that I don't like at all, where they have a minus 17.7 billion yen, which is, at the end of the day, Konica Minolta cannot function profitably, period. Let's talk about their professional print business unit. They show a $58.9 million operating profit on $1.4 billion in revenue for the first 9 months. That's a 4% operating profit. Of course, we don't know what kind of costs they bury down there in corporate, etc., so that might not even be a real number. But at the end of the day, ladies and gentlemen, industrial print for 9 months, $197 million. Boy, that's a booming business. A global industrial print business. They're going to end up with what? $230, $240 million in revenue? And of course, we don't know if that's even profitable, because they got this marketing services business. What the hell's that all about? I keep asking that same question. Just a nutty business. It represents $316.1 million of the $1.4 billion in the professional print sector. Okay, so production print, $859.3 million. But again, we have no idea if that's even profitable. Which one of these products within professional print is dragging down the profit or bringing the profit up? Because even if that 4% is true, it's not enough, right? I mean, I guess these marketing services must be weighting everybody down. Maybe they're doing stuff for nothing. Who knows? Let's look at the digital workplace. In digital workplace, that's where they have the print business, and they have that DWDX, the IT services, all that stuff. Holy smokes. I got to ask Konica a question. What's the issue with IT services in the U.S.? Managed IT services sluggish in the U.S. Sluggish. I know a lot of IT services companies that are just knocking it out of the park, and they are not foul balls. I got to clarify that. They're just actually knocking it out of the park. They're out there selling fee-based assessments. People are paying for their intellect. They're doing all kinds of, really cool stuff with compliance, charging people lots of money. And Konica Minolta, you got into the IT business here in the United States, when back in 2012, that's been a long damn time ago. You think you'd be experts at it, and that thing would be knocking it out of the park for real, and you'd be making all kinds of profitability because you'd have been moving upstream by now. Man. But nothing's really changed since the day you bought it, has it? Sluggish at best. That's what I'm thinking. Office, which is the print equipment, $2.6 billion for the 9 months. DWDX, $437.5 million for the 9 months. And folks, again, they talk about this business contribution. I call it irrelevant nonsense. I mean, they had a 3% operating profit in this division on $103.2 million in total revenue. 3% operating profit. And they got a $437.5 million IT services business, and that's 9 months worth of revenue. The DWDX. I got to tell you, man, I just don't think they're performing at the level they need to be performing. It's eating up all their costs. It's causing them a lot of issues. And of course, if they want to rifle focus in on those details, they're more than happy to do that. And they come on the show and share it. I'd be more than happy to have that conversation. Instead of the leaders at Konica Minolta showing up at your venues talking about how you should be profitable. I'm just like, this is absurd when I hear this. Or going to your venues and talking about how prosperous they are. When their financials, well, they show a completely different thing, don't they, as a corporation? And since they don't want to share all the details about their IT services and all the other things they say they do so well, I think we should question all of it. They're getting rid of some employees. I would say this, our current employees polishing up their resumes, I'm hoping they are. I thought this page was kind of neat. Let me read this to you. DWDX, implemented business selection and concentration, improved profit ratio in continuing areas. Completed transfer of MWAI Intelligence, the U.S. sales company's ERP Solutions Division, Q1. That was a train wreck mess. Remember that Forza? And folks, I got to tell you, I think it's hysterical when I'm seeing press releases about some new private equity folks getting involved with a new ERP system that's coming out of someone's garage, basically, and they're going to come into the marketplace and compete against ECIE Automate. This is insanity at so many levels, and I think that those private equity folks and the folks that have this unrealistic optimism around replacing the ERP and the imaging channel should really pay attention to what happened to Forza and Konica and MWAI. There's such a big lesson there that's being completely ignored as you all run around and hug and kiss each other and live in a fantasy world. Completed transfer of HydroCloud, the IT infrastructure, construction, and operation business in Norwegian sales company, Q1. Completed transfer of French IT training businesses, Q2. Completed transfer of part of the software business of French sales company, Q4. It seems like a liquidation strategy, not a growth strategy. Let's get rid of all this stuff. And I'm pretty sure they're going to be getting rid of a lot of stuff here in the U.S. coming soon. Do y'all remember this? And I beat the crap out of this. I made fun of it because it was stupid. It was the CEO of Konica Minolta USA going on the show with the guy with a hat, talking about how successful Konica was. This was, when was this? I got the day here. July 13th of 2022. It's been a while ago. We're so successful. Everything's going so great. He actually talked about how they were going to take all cover to Europe and they were going to knock it out of the park in Europe with all covered. And I just read all the stuff they're getting rid of in Europe, right? And folks, at the end of the day, should this guy go back on the show with the guy with the hat and tell the whole world why that didn't work out? Should he go back on the show with the guy in the hat and talk about why Forza, the ERP that was going to change the imaging channel, didn't work out? Should he? Because I'm thinking before Konica Minolta stands on some stage somewhere and tells the industry how to be more profitable, tells the industry how they could do things better, they ought to start telling the industry all the things they did terrible and how they're not going to do those things again, instead of pretending everything's just fantastic. Ladies and gentlemen, here's their goals for their forecast. They want to do $7.5 billion in top-line revenue for FY 2024, and they want to have an operating profit loss of $92.5 million. I mean, another year of disaster for Konica Minolta. Upcoming events. They're having a medium-term business plan update briefing. Can't wait for that. FY 2024 financial results. That'll be around May sometime. Can't wait for that. But you know what, ladies and gentlemen? I'm thinking they should do this. They should have a massive retirement party as Konica Minolta finalizes liquidation sometime in third quarter of 2025. That's what I'm thinking. We should all be prepared for that big retirement party coming soon. Dealers. Stop buying toner from the OEM, most likely to be first eliminated. I want to talk about this a little bit. You know, if a dealer switches from OEM to non-OEM toner, they can save a boatload of money. Right now, the OEMs, well, they put a lot of pressure on you if you do that. Does anybody really care if Konica Minolta puts pressure on you? Because most of us would think that Konica Minolta won't even be around much longer. And I went back and I found this video I did, and it was titled, "Race Cars Are Cool, but Customers Need Toner." Remember that? Remember when Konica Minolta wasn't able to get toner to people? And I get it. It was a disaster. They had to fire a plant. But it was the miscommunication. It was the total nonsense. And then they were even telling you all dump toner out of one bottle, put it in another bottle. Remember all that crazy nonsense? I don't forget it. But see, Konica Minolta, they don't want you to remember that kind of stuff. But folks, here's the reality. Dealers were using non-OEM toner back when Konica Minolta had those issues. Start using it again. Start using it again and save your money. Call Pollock & Pollock. I mean, just do it. And yes, Pollock & Pollock's one of my sponsors. I'm very proud to have Pollock & Pollock as sponsor. They do dealers a great service. But at the end of the day, why would you be buying OEM toner from Konica Minolta when the whole world is pretty much watching them? You know, it's just a big train wreck. Do something. Start buying non-OEM toner. Save that money and prepare yourself for one day when you replace Konica Minolta as an OEM. Because one day you will probably replace Konica Minolta as your OEM. And everybody watching me knows this. Status quo is the killer of all it'll be invented. Don't get stuck there, and I'll see you all tomorrow.